afternoon and welcome to the Northern Kentucky Spotlight on this glorious day. Hope you're having a great one. I'm Catherine Nero alongside Jeremy Schran, the Marketing and Communications Director for the Northern Kentucky Chamber. How are we doing on this post-Mother's Day Monday, Jeremy?
Good. Happy Mother's Day. How was your Mother's Day?
Thank you. All was well. You know what? The weather wasn't great, but we'll take it as the world starts to open back up, and we'll get to that here coming up in just a little bit. But we do want to thank our sponsors, first and foremost, CBG, our title sponsor, as well as C Crew Consulting, our digital sponsor, and our episode sponsor, Horan. We thank you for jumping on board as well. And we got a lot coming your way in just a little bit.
Yeah, we're going to be talking Cincinnati Red Bike today with Jason Barron. And, you know, the red bikes are all around Northern Kentucky. They're all over the city and stuff. We're going to talk to him about, like, all the cool stuff and, you know, ways that you can kind of get around using their cool little e-bike system.
Yeah, new member of the chamber and really excited to be there. So an interesting discussion there. And it's more than just a bike. He'll explain it better than I can, certainly. So that's what's coming your way in just a little bit. But we want to get to the headlines of the day, including, of course, we're going to start with our COVID update. So there's mainly good news, but I'm going to start with like the teeniest little bit of bad news, which is the CDC and local health experts are predicting a bit of an uptick in COVID cases before the end of May, and that's because of that UK variant, as they call it, and the fact that there's a lot of people wanting to do a lot of things, and some of the mask mandates and such are being kind of lessened a little bit across the country. So just keep that in mind. But what they're saying is this: regardless of what's going to happen here in the next couple of weeks, if we're careful with distancing and hand washing and all of that stuff, and vaccinations, that's the big one, there should be a decline, an overall decline by July. So that's coming your way. We will hopefully stay tuned for that good bit of news. Now, as early as next week, the FDA should give an emergency approval, an emergency use authorization. I said youth because that's what it is. It's for ages 12 to 15. This is the Pfizer vaccine. And I know that age group is a huge age group, especially, look, I've got a kid in that age group and I'm very, very interested in this. And then the younger kids will be coming up a little bit later. So this is the Pfizer vaccine, the same one that's approved for 16 and 17-year-olds. Word is next week that's going to be approved for 12 to 15-year-olds. So we'll see about that. Now, Governor Beshear's already announced his next phase for relaxing the COVID-19 restrictions. It includes 75% capacity for events and businesses with fewer than 1,000 people. If it's more than 1,000 people, it'll be 60%. That goes into effect May 28th. So before the Memorial Day weekend, which again, that's a lot of people, but just keep in mind, hand washing, distancing, masking if you can. Now, again, the vaccinations with teenagers may be coming soon. And locally, here's some really good news to wrap this sucker up with. Cases are down. Testing is, kind of level, but positivity is down, which is great, and should decrease this week. That's what all indicators say. And Northern Kentucky is more than halfway to that 70% vaccination goal. And the general, like the 15 county radius, wants an 80% vaccination goal. But in Kentucky, to get back to like 100% in all capacities, that would be a 70% goal. And again, we're getting there. It's slowing, of course, but we are moving in the right direction, Jeremy.
Yep. Get out and get your vaccine if you haven't gotten it, so we can get back to it.
Yes.
It's going to be a great summer, I think. To that end, Governor Beshear had an op-ed that was in the Inquirer and the River City News and the NKY Tribune, like pretty much every paper across the state, talking about how the economy is showing record-breaking momentum. And he's also praising the fact that we are doing it safely and sustainably. So it is really good signs. Like we are really kind of positioned to move Kentucky way forward. And he said, as team, this is a quote from Beshear himself, as Team Kentucky, let's do what it takes to end it. So, we just got to keep on doing what we're doing. Wear your masks when you haven't had the vaccine. Get that vaccine so you don't have to wear masks, and we can be outside and then eventually be together in some big open spaces together and see some events and see some people and shake some hands, and it'll be great.
And we may want to avoid, like the next 4 weeks, maybe 6 weeks, maybe 8 weeks. But the point is, cicadas are coming. Okay, we knew this was happening. It's not the end of the world. It's not like locusts and this is not biblical times. However, we all remember from 17 years ago, Brood 10, they're coming back. In the next few weeks, there is this long and convoluted equation, but essentially it's this. Gene Kritsky over at Mount St. Joseph, who is like they call him the Indiana Jones of cicadas. He knows it all.
Yeah.
That he says basically, if the ground temperature gets above 64, if there's 2 days at 80 degrees or more after a soaking rain, that's when you can hit it. Well, we just had the soaking rain, so let's see where this goes. Nonetheless, they're coming. They're going to stick around for about 6 weeks. Here's the good news. They don't bite. They're actually good for many things. They're good for the soil. They aerate the soil. They prune trees. It's kind of like a natural pruning. But here's the deal. The city of Covington has put out some interesting information about, you might not want to plant young trees right now. Don't plant trees. Maybe wait till the fall to do that. But don't worry about flowers. Don't worry about vegetables. Cicadas won't bother them. It's really just those young trees. So other than that, hang on. Now, what's also interesting is the city of Covington's like, you know what? Because they were like, you could put netting around it and all this. Think about how many trees are in Covington. They're going to take a wait and see approach to see what they're going to do next. So fingers crossed, all will be well there.
It's funny to me, all these people that are. I mean, they're a nuisance because they fly at you. But like my mother-in-law over the weekend, she was like, "Oh, the locusts are coming." I'm like, no, they're cicadas. There's a massive difference.
Yes, there is a big difference.
So, yeah, but yeah, it should be fun and interesting, and I can't wait to take the kids outside and be like,
oh yeah,
bugs. It'll be fun. This next one, as excited as I've been about it, I'm a little sad. So TQL Stadium for FC Cincinnati opens this weekend, and I was not high enough in the season ticket ranking to get into the stadium, so I'm a little bummed, but it's not his fault. It's still going to be awesome. It's still going to be an amazing stadium, and I got the rest of the summer to go to the game. So
there you go.
A couple more weeks, and we'll get all the fans back in the stadiums. But they're going to open, and they're going to have, I think, a 60% crowd. It's going to be packed. It's going to be great, and hopefully, fingers crossed, they might actually be able to bring us a win. But it's going to be a great weekend for that.
And I'd like to point out, in case you guys are around Facebook on Wednesday at 10:30 on the Inquirer's Facebook Wednesday morning, I'll be talking with Jeff Birding over at FC Cincinnati. I'll be in there, Jeremy. I know you've seen it. I've not seen it, so I'm going to be inside TQL Stadium.
It's so amazing. Although I was a little jealous. I didn't get to go to the media day where they got all the food last week. Whew,
I didn't get the food either. I did not get that memo. Unacceptable.
But like I said, like I said, I got all summer to eat all that food. So
that's right. Great. That's right. As we talk about getting back to normal, this is a really, really great sign. NKU graduated 5,213 people this weekend. So this included the class of 2021, but also some of the class of 2020 who did not get a graduation. This is the first graduation at NKU since 2019, since December of 2019. So this was undergraduate, graduate, and Chase Law School graduates. And so congratulations over there. Looked like it was a great, great day for all of that.
Awesome. It's that time.
It's time, Jeremy, for your Chamber Roundup.
Yeehaw! So we still have some great virtual events coming up. So tomorrow we've got Government Forum with the mayors moving Northern Kentucky forward. Then on the 12th, we got our HR 100, and it's on inclusive leadership and the value of courageous conversations and best practices for the HR team. And then also, let's see here. So that was Wednesday. Thursday, we've got NKYP's Leading Well. So the YP has a Leading Well with our good friends at the Talent Magnet Institute. And then we also, on the 13th, we have a business after hours in the afternoon that day on Thursday. And then next week, Eggs and Issues is back, and it's the post-COVID office environment. And speaking of the post-COVID office environment, the Chamber, we are back to in-person meetings. So our small committee meetings and stuff like that are starting back up in the month of May. Those tend to be kind of smaller, so we can spread out in our big boardroom. So if you're on Chamber committees and stuff like that, we're going to look for some more in-person meetings coming up this month. And then in July, we are going to be back to in-person events, as long as everything kind of keeps going as it is right now. So be on the lookout for those as we start to announce them. I think the first live in-person event is probably going to be our Next Generation Leadership Awards, and that's in July. So I'm super excited. And then we've got the big golf outing in August. So we will be back to live and in-person shortly.
Okay, we cannot wait for that. I know that's, a lot of Chamber events, it's about networking, and I think that we've missed that a little bit. And so that's coming back, July. Mark those calendars. Fingers crossed. Fingers crossed. All right, listen, we've got lots coming your way. Speaking of a great way to maybe enjoy the summer, have you been on a Cincy Red Bike? there's some new ones that may help you with the hilly terrain here, and also just it's a really comprehensive look at a business that's not just about transportation. Cincy Red Bikes coming your way, so stay tuned for that right here on the Northern Kentucky Spotlight.
CVG Airport is the lowest fare airport in the tri-state region with 54 nonstop flights and direct international service to 7 destinations, including Paris, France, and now home to both DHL's and Amazon's global cargo hubs. The airport is furthering its position as leader in aviation and is deeply committed to being an economic driver for the community. You can learn more and start your next adventure at cvgairport.com.
Ranking on Google Search and Maps is easy to understand, but hard to do. It requires constant effort and attention, uploading new photos, responding to Google reviews, writing weekly posts, and checking suggested updates. Google listing optimization takes experience and time, and there are no shortcuts. C-Crew gives your Google My Business account the steady, consistent attention it needs to be effective, optimizing, updating, and expanding critical content every single week. From local retail stores to large regional networks, C-Crew generates content, establishes benchmarks, and creates dramatic, measurable increases in engagement. So what can C-Crew do for your business? More calls, more clicks, more clients.
And welcome back to the Northern Kentucky Spotlight. Right now, we are shining that spotlight on a new member of the Northern Kentucky Chamber, Cincy Red Bike. And Jason Barron is here from Red Bike to tell us all about it. Welcome, first of all, to the podcast, Jason, but also to the Chamber as well.
Great to be here. Great to be here. Great to be a new member. Red Bike's been in Northern Kentucky since 2015, and no real reason why we haven't been a member before, but we recently kind of got invited to join, and we were happy to join and kind of further deepen our connection to Northern Kentucky.
Let's talk about that, because really that's kind of the mission of Red Bike, is to connect areas that may not have been connectable before. So as you said, you've been here for many years. Tell us about Red Bike for those maybe who don't know, other than seeing them on the side of the road there.
Yeah, absolutely. So Red Bike is bike share, and bike share, for those that haven't used it, is an interconnected network of about 60 stations or so throughout Cincinnati, Northern Kentucky, and Covington, Newport, Bellevue, all around campus area, up by UC and the hospital systems, all throughout over the Rhine and the West End. And we're all about connecting folks and giving folks another way to get around. So it's bike share, right? Which means these are shared bicycles. And we're a nonprofit that's just here to partner with these cities to provide this way to get around. And so, you go to one of our stations, you either use our app or you use our kiosk, you check out a bike, you bike to wherever you need to go, whether you need to run your errands or whether you need to go meet up with some friends or whether you just need to get some exercise. And I think we all need a little exercise over this past year. You just get out and go. And then when you're done, you take it back to any one of the kiosks and stations within our network, you check the bike back in, and boom, you're done. And now the bike's not your problem. We take care of it. We make sure it's ready to go for you. And as a community, we're sharing bikes.
And like you said, this is a great opportunity. I know people who commute exclusively on Red Bikes from Covington to Cincinnati and back. Let's talk though about the new version of Red Bikes, the e-bikes that are out and about.
So the e-bikes have been a game changer. And the first time I got on an e-bike, you take that first pedal and you're like, oh, this is totally different. And we were one of the first cities in the country to introduce e-bikes in 2019. They were kind of new to bike shares across the world. And what it is that there is so everybody's ridden a bicycle, but an e-bike has a motor between the pedals, and then they also have a battery on the back and a computer on the handlebars. And so you turn the bike on, touching the computer on the handlebars, and then as you bike, it's still a bicycle, which means you got a pedal to go. If you stop pedaling, just like a regular bike, gravity's going to start to slow you down, and your bike ride's going to come to an end. But as you're pedaling, if you have that e-power on, it's like you're super strong, and it allows you to go a little faster, so you can keep up with traffic a little better, which is a little bit more safe. As we all know, like the most unsafe car is sometimes the car that's going the slowest on the highway because it's got that big speed difference. Yeah. So it allows the bikes to keep up a little bit better with traffic. It allows you to get started from a stoplight or from standing stop a little bit better. It allows you to go a little bit longer distance, right? 3 or 4 mile bike rides, not too bad. But if you're wearing your suit or you're wearing your work clothes, you might not want to do that. The e-bike makes that a little easier. And then most of all, we live in Cincinnati. And if there's one thing we know about Cincinnati, there are hills. Yes. And so the e-bike makes that a realistic to go up and down a hill. Often on our commute, there might be one hill. And so it's a 15, 20-minute commute that's got that one hill. And that's enough to say, look, I can't do this by bike. But if you have an e-bike, it gives you the confidence to do that. And it makes you kind of fully prepared to do that.
So let's talk about another program that you have. That's Red Bike Go. Tell us about this.
So Red Bike Go launched in 2018, and it's really important to us. Red Bike Go is our program for individuals experiencing low income. Anybody 200% of poverty or below can sign up for Red Bike Go. You can pay cash for it. You got to come to our office to do it. You can pay cash to sign up. It's a $5, make sure my hand's high enough, $5 monthly membership for folks that are, like I said, are experiencing lower income, and it gets them access to bikes. We're super proud of it. We spend a lot of time thinking about it. For us, we wanted to make sure when we launched it that it wasn't just a program that we had that we were like, oh, we want to do something. We made it part of our DNA. It's really part of who we are, because we wanted to make sure that bike share is available for everybody in our community. And we're super proud of it. We spend a lot of time on it, like I said, but over the last 2 years, 25% of all rides taken on Red Bike have been taken by members of our Red Bike Go program.
Wow.
We don't think there's any bike share system in the country that can match that. And so we're super proud of it. It makes us feel like we're really doing our mission of connecting people to bikes, and therefore connecting people to other people to the places they need to go, and letting people get around in a really, really fun way.
There's been a lot of talk recently. I mean, even a visit from the vice president talking about infrastructure and connecting people to whether it's healthcare or vaccination clinics or work. And this is a really affordable way to get that done.
Absolutely. And we're one component of that, right? Not everybody can ride a bike, although a lot more can with e-bikes, but and not every distance can be covered. And certainly we're not in every neighborhood, right? I mean, bike share requires density. But at the same time, we're an important component of that. And so whether it is people that live in Over the Rhine or the West End commuting to downtown, or people that live in Newport, Covington, or Bellevue commuting back and forth, or to downtown or up to the university, or whether it's folks that might come in on a car, park their car, but you don't want to get out and pay to park 5 times throughout a day. So once you've parked, you can now use the bike to get around, to run your errands, to go to your coffee, to go to your meetings, to go to your appointments. That makes the city much more connected, much closer. And so we think we're a really important part of that network.
You guys are connecting neighborhoods. That's what the chamber's all about, is to connecting business owners. And so,
and also it's the most fun way to get around, right?
Yeah.
You can't help but have a smile when you're on a bike, right? A beautiful day like today. Sure, it's just a little chilly, but it's still fun to get out, to bike around, to see the community in a different way. When you're in a car and you've got that roof on you, or you've got the windows, or even on a bus, there's nothing like being on a bike to go to experience community, to experience your fellow neighbors, and to really just enjoy downtown in Northern Kentucky and all of our region.
Well, we look forward to it. And we thank you one more time for being a new member of the chamber. And now we'll put a face with all of those red bikes we see around town.
One of many faces, but absolutely. We hope you all run out and get a membership to Red Bike and start to think about how to add it into your daily commute, because it's going to add a smile to your day. And we could all use a little bit more of that right now.
Yes, we can. Exercise and a smile. We need both. Sometimes
there
maybe
you
not
go.
Together, but we can do it.
I love it.
All right, Jason, thank you so much. Jason Barron from Red Bike. And hey, guys, stick with us. We are going to be right back with more on the Northern Kentucky Spotlight.
Hi, I'm Shannon Schumacher, Account Executive, Kentucky Market Leader. At Haran, we champion bold innovation to help employers and individuals thrive. As an industry thought leader, we explore new horizons in healthcare, benefits, employee engagement, and wellness. We work harder to deliver all the strategic benefits, planning, and execution you expect from a true partner. And we do it with laser focus on your short and long-term outcomes to help manage your benefits while improving your employee experience.
Welcome back to the Northern Kentucky Spotlight. We appreciate you sticking around with us this far. And we want to thank again, of course, our sponsor, CVG, our title sponsor. And by the way, while I just keep promoting all the stuff that I'm doing, I'm going to be out at CVG on Friday. They have a new Sun Country flight we're going to do on Facebook Live. So it's, they are really doing wonders out there with low-cost airlines. This is another one. And so we'll talk all about that on Friday. So check that out. That's Friday from CVG. But we want to thank them, of course, as our title sponsor, and C Crew Consulting, our digital sponsor, and Haran, the episode sponsor. We appreciate you so much. And Jeremy, you too. Good luck and Godspeed, and fingers crossed for a win there at FCC this weekend.
Yep. It's going to be a good week. Get your vaccine. Everybody get your vaccine. I don't even care if you like and share the podcast anymore. Just get your vaccine.
Well, you can also like and share the podcast and get your vaccine.
Yeah. Let's do both. I actually do care if you like the podcast, but vaccine's more important. Get your vaccine.
Yeah. There you go. Like, subscribe, share, vaccinate. All of those things right there in a row. We appreciate you guys being here on the Northern Kentucky Spotlight each and every week, and we will see you right back here next week on the Northern Kentucky Spotlight.